Yoga is the connection of mind, body, and spirit. When we take time for ourselves, we're better able to show up in our day-to-day lives, knowing that the tools we need are always within us, using our breath and our body as our guide. Hey everyone, and welcome to today's practice. My name is Brittany, and I'll be guiding you for our practice today. We'll be working on our full body, so starting lying down on our mats. Make your way down onto your mat, and bringing the feet to the outer edges of your mat, toes to fall out towards the sides. And this time we'll bring the arms up and overhead, keeping a generous bend through the elbows. And observing our body here in this space. What sensations come up here? Areas of tension or ease. And can we invite just a little bit of softness to the body? We'll draw one knee in towards the chest, and then the other, catching for either the backs of the thighs or the tops of the shins, whichever is more accessible today. And we'll start to circle out through the knees by drawing them over towards one side of the mat, away from the body, and then over towards the other side. Getting into the low back, checking in with the spine, the shoulders, and then reversing the direction. Maybe that changes some sensation in the body, maybe it doesn't, and that's okay. Bringing the knees back through to center, we'll plant the right sole of the foot down onto the mat, interlacing the fingers over top of our left shin, and then drawing the knee in towards the chest. Finding our breath here. And then we'll begin to draw the left knee over towards the left side of our mat, bringing the right palm to the right hip. And then option to stay here, or maybe taking the index and middle finger of the left palm to the big toe on our left side, or catching for the outer edge of our left foot. And then option here to extend the left heel up towards the sky. So we're stacking our ankle and our knee, coming into a half happy baby. So we're focusing on rooting the right hip down. An option, if it's accessible today, maybe we extend the right heel to the top of our mat. Seeing if we can soften into this shape. And then we'll release the left foot back in towards the sit bone, draw the left knee back through to center, and plant the left sole of the foot onto the mat. We'll inhale to draw the right knee in towards the chest. An option to interlace the fingers over top of the shin or behind the thigh, whichever is more accessible today. And just settling into this shape. Option to open the right knee up towards the right side, maybe bringing the left palm on top of the left hip, just as a reminder, keeping the hips rooted down. And then option to take the right index finger and middle finger, wrapping them around the big toe, or option to catch for the outer edge of the right foot. And then maybe we stay here or extending the right heel up towards the sky. Our ankle and the knee will stack. And just notice if the side feels a little different, and that's okay. Option 2, extend the left heel to the top of our space here. So we're drawing the right knee over towards the right side of our rib cage, opening it up towards the side. And checking in with our breath. And then we'll release the right sole of the foot back in towards the sit bone. Draw the right knee in towards the chest, and then we'll hug the left knee in to meet the right. Palms will come behind the thighs, and we can rock along the spine if it feels comfortable in the body today. If not, rocking onto your right side, we'll meet up in a comfortable seat. So as we arrive at the top of our mat, we'll meet with the soles of the feet down, knees are bent, taking the palms of the hands behind the body, fingertips will point towards the back of your mat, and then find a little bit of openness through the chest here. So maybe the shoulder blades draw in towards one another. If this doesn't feel comfortable for the fingertips, you can point the fingertips in towards the body, and then maybe bending through the elbows, and then option here to hover the left foot away from the mat. And then maybe we hover the right. You can flex the toes in towards the knees. So this is often called our boat pose or Navasana. And you might find that this is the most comfortable in the body. Or option to bring the palms behind the thighs, opening up through the chest, and then maybe hovering one foot and then the other. Finding that length through the spine. Taking an inhale. And then on the exhale, maybe the arms extend towards the top of your space, opening up the palms towards the sky. And then on the exhale, we'll lower down, extend the heels towards the top of your mat, straightening through the legs, lowering down. And then inhale, we'll pull right back up, knees in towards the chest. Exhale to lower. And then inhale, rising up. Last one, exhale. And then inhale. On the exhale, we'll cross the legs, plant the palms down onto the mat. We'll stack our wrists with the shoulders and the knees underneath our hips, coming into our tabletop position. I'm just taking a moment to settle in here, checking in with how the body is feeling. We'll take an inhale, draw the tailbone up towards the sky, belly towards the mat, chin and chest to lift. And then exhale to round from the spine, drawing the shoulder blades together, maybe gazing back towards the thighs. Option to pause for a breath or two in either shape. And just observing how the spine is feeling today. Next inhale, we'll come to a neutral spine, and then begin to extend the left heel up towards the sky. So we're bending through the left knee. See if you can engage through the glute. And then on the exhale, round through the spine, draw the left knee in towards the chest. And then we'll open the left knee out towards the left side of our mat. Imagine that you're creating a circle with the knee. You might find that we're able to keep the hips in line with one another. Maybe you find just a little bit of a back bend. Exploring how this feels through the body. And then we'll inhale, extend the left toes up towards the sky, take the gaze up towards the sky. And then on the exhale, round through the spine, draw the left knee in towards the chest, plant the foot between the palms, and then maybe you walk the right knee back. And then we'll inhale, reaching the arms up towards the sky, finding our low lunge. We'll take our left index finger and thumb around the right wrist, take an inhale. And on the exhale, reaching the right arm up and overhead, feeling this side body stretch. Inhale to reach back up towards the sky. And on the exhale, plant the palms down onto the mat, step the left knee back underneath the left hip. We'll take an inhale, tilt the tailbone, belly draws, chin and chest to lift. And then exhale, rounding through the spine, gazing back towards the thighs. Moving with our breath. On the next inhale, we'll find a neutral spine. Begin to kick the right heel up towards the sky. On the exhale, knee to nose, and then we're reaching the right knee over towards the right side and finding that hip circle. And just exploring our range of motion on this side of the body. Maybe we find more mobility. Maybe the side's a little stiff, and that's okay. The next time we'll reach the right toes up towards the sky, find a little bit of a back bend, take the gaze up, and then exhale, round through the spine. Right foot steps between the palms. Inhale, we'll reach the arms up towards the sky, right ankle and knee to stack, finding that lift. And then take the right index finger and thumb around the left wrist, reaching it up towards the sky, and exhale, reaching over towards the left. Finding that side body stretch. Inhale to reach back up towards the sky, and then exhale, palms plant down to the mat, step the right knee back underneath the hip. We'll take an inhale to tuck the toes underneath, and exhale, reach the sit bones up, press the thighs back, finding our first downward facing dog. Rooting through the index finger and the thumb, drawing the elbows in towards one another, and begin to pedal out through the knees, coming up onto the tippy tops of the toes, and settling into our foundation here. We'll take an inhale, reach the left leg up and back. On the exhale, draw the left knee in towards the chest, round through the spine, plant the foot between the palms, and then we'll pivot the right foot to come parallel to the back of our mat. As we inhale, reach the right arm up and overhead, and the left arm draws forward. So we're finding our warrior two shape here. Taking the gaze over top of the left palm, we'll take an inhale, reverse the left palm up towards the sky, and on the exhale, reach the left arm up and overhead. Inhale to come back through to center. And then on the exhale, take the bend out of the left knee, reverse the left palm up towards the sky, and then reach it up towards the sky. And then we'll pause for 2 rounds of breath here, feeling this length from the left toes up to the left fingertips. Inhale to come back through to center. And then we're going to pivot the left foot to come parallel to the top of our mat. The toes are going to point out towards the edges of our mat, heels turn in. So option 2, walk the feet in a little bit closer here. And then we'll bend through the knees, reaching the sit bones back. So finding ourselves in our goddess pose. You can bring the hands onto the thighs, reaching the sit bones back, engaging through the glutes, and feeling this length through the side body. Closing down the eyes just for a moment, checking in with how this feels. On the inhale, we'll reach the arms up towards the sky, take the bend out of the knees. And then on the exhale, bend through the knees, arms will come back down. Inhale to reach. And exhale. Just exploring how this feels through the body. We'll inhale one more time. And this time on the exhale, cactus the arms as we come to bend in our goddess pose. So elbows are at a 90-degree angle, feeling this length through the spine, finding that bend through the knees, and then close down the eyes just for a moment. Feeling that strength through the legs. Maybe feeling strong and empowered in our own body. Next inhale, we'll reach all the way up. And then on the exhale, turn the heels back out towards the back of our mat. Feet are parallel. We'll hinge from the hips and fold forward. Catching for opposite elbows and maybe rocking from side to side. We'll walk the palms over towards our right foot, pivot the right toes to the back of your mat, pivot onto the tippy top toes of your left, step Step your right foot back to meet the left. We're meeting in plank. And then exhale, sit bones, reach up. Thighs press back, our downward facing dog. And then on the inhale, reach the right leg up and back. Exhale to draw the right knee in towards the chest. Foot lands between the palms. We're pivoting our left foot to come parallel to the back of our mat. And then inhale to reach the arms up and overhead, finding yourselves in our warrior two stance. And taking a moment here, maybe we're walking our left foot in or our right foot in, just finding really stable and grounded through our warrior two shape. We'll take an inhale to reverse the right palm up towards the sky, and then exhale, reaching it up and overhead as our left palm connects to the thigh. Inhale to come back through to center. And then on the exhale, we're taking the bend out of the right knee, reverse the right palm up, and exhale, reaching up. So we're pausing for a few breaths here, finding that length from the right tips of the toes all the way through to the right fingertips. And then inhale, arms come back through to center. We're pivoting our right foot to come parallel to the back of our mat. And then turning the heels in, toes point out. Exhale, bending through the knees, hips sit back. So we're finding ourselves back in our goddess pose, option for the palms to come and rest on top of the thighs. And then finding that movement again on the inhale, reaching up. And exhale, coming down. Maybe moving at your own pace. And just observing how it feels this time around. Next inhale, we'll reach up. And on the exhale, cactusing through the arms, sitting back into our goddess pose. Taking a moment here. Observing what happens in stillness. Maybe we still feel our body moving, supporting ourselves as we are. We'll take another inhale to reach up, and then pivot the heels to come parallel to our mat. Exhale, fold forward. Letting everything go. This time maybe the big toe mounds turn in and the heels turn out. Just observing how that feels. Option for the palms to catch for the outside of the ankles, or maybe we simply catch for opposite elbows and find that rock from side to side, allowing our spine to lengthen and finding a little bit of softness here. And then we'll slowly walk the palms over towards the left foot, pivoting the left toes to the top of our mat. And then we're stepping our left foot back to meet the right. Inhale through plank, and exhale, finding our downward facing dog. On the inhale, we'll wave the spine forward. And on the exhale, the knees will come down to the mat. We'll slowly lower all the way down. Taps the feet to root down, and then the forearms will come onto the mat, palms facing down, elbows stacked underneath the shoulders. You can check in by taking the palms, catching for opposite biceps, and then on the inhale, draw the chest forward, opening through the chest. If this is causing any pain for the low back, bring the feet as wide as your mat. Softening into this shape. Maybe taking the gaze up towards the sky. And then exhale, draw the chin in towards the chest. Inhale, we'll find neutral. And then on the exhale, we'll slowly lower down to our mat, palms to stack on top of one another, elbows out towards the side. I'm just taking a moment here. And then we'll come onto our backs. So flipping onto one side of the hips, coming over and coming to lie down. Palms might come to rest on top of the belly. We'll bend through the knees, planting the soles of the feet down onto the mat. And imagine that the feet are about hip distance apart. And then walk the heels in towards the sit bones. On the inhale, reach the left heel up towards the sky. And then on the exhale, bend through the left knee, bring our left ankle to cross over top of the right knee, opening the left knee up towards the left side of your mat. So option 2, stay here if this is a lot of sensation through the outer left hip. Or option 2, draw the right knee in towards the chest. Fingers can interlace behind the right thigh. So left shin and calf will come parallel to the mat, flexing the toe in towards the knee and just observing how this feels here. Softening through the breath. And then we'll plant the right sole of the foot down onto the mat, release the left sole of the foot back down to the mat, and then reset your stance here. So feet are hip distance apart, walking the heels in towards the sit bones, and we'll inhale, extending the right heel up towards the sky. Exhale to cross the right ankle over to meet the left knee, opening the right knee up towards the right side of our mat. Maybe this is enough sensation through the outer right hip, an option to stay here. On an inhale, maybe the left knee draws in towards the body, interlacing the fingers behind the left thigh, flexing the left toe in towards the left knee, and softening through the belly. And just observing what sensations come up on the side. We'll bring the left sole of the foot back down to the mat and cross the right ankle from over top of the left knee, planting it back down to the mat. Palms will come to the belly, heel to the feet as wide as your mat, and we'll knock the knees from side to side. Letting all of that go. And the knees will come back through to center, extending the heels to the outer edges of your mat. And then we'll bring one palm over top of heart center and the other over top of the belly. Observing if anything has changed, maybe emotionally, physically, maybe mentally. And know that if it hasn't, that's okay. Maybe scanning from head to toe, observing the sensations here. I invite you to stay here as long as you'd like. Thank you so much for joining me for practice today.